Leaping, a goat studies the distance, angle, and landing point. Then it launches with the hind legs, keeps the body compact in the air, and lands with the hooves placed carefully. This combination of judgment and strength makes their climbing especially impressive.
Mountain cliffs, goats climbing effortlessly. Super easy for goats. Zimu. When we think of goats, we often imagine farm animals eating grass. But goats are far more talented than many people realize. Hidden behind their calm faces and curious eyes are natural abilities that help them survive, explore, and adapt. So, how many natural secret talents do goats have? Let's discover 10 amazing natural talents of goats. 1. Incredible balance. Goats are not simply good climbers. Their bodies are adapted for sure-footed movement on unstable, steep terrain. In zoological terms, their balance comes from the combined action of hoof anatomy, limb control, body posture, muscle strength, and sensory awareness.
A goat's hoof is cloven, meaning it is split into two main toes. These toes can spread apart slightly, increasing the contact area with the rock and allowing the animal to feel and grip irregular surfaces. The U.S. National Park Service notes that mountain goats use these split hooves, together with flexible inner pads, to grip rocky ledges and cliffs. They can also climb slopes of 60 degrees or more. The hoof works almost like a natural climbing shoe. The hard outer rim, made mostly of keratin, acts like a firm edge. It can catch on tiny cracks, ledges, and rough stone. Inside the hoof is a softer, more flexible pad that presses against the rock and molds slightly to uneven surfaces. This increases friction, much like rubber soles on climbing footwear. Ask Nature describes mountain goat feet as having cloven hooves with a hard outer shell, soft, flexible inner pads, and dew claws that help stop slipping. Their balance is also helped by independent toe movement. Each half of the hoof can adjust to a different angle, so when a goat steps on a jagged rock, both toes do not need to land perfectly flat. One toe may grip a ridge while the other stabilizes against a different surface. This makes the foot highly adaptable on rough ground. The National Park Service also describes mountain goat hooves as having two toes that can move independently, supporting their agility on steep terrain.
Goats also rely on careful body positioning. They keep their center of mass close to the rock, take short, deliberate steps, and place their feet precisely. Their muscular shoulders and forequarters help pull the body upward, while strong hind limbs push from below. This is why their movement on cliffs often looks slow, controlled, and almost mathematical rather than rushed. Their dew claws, the small extra hoof-like structures behind the main hoof, can act as additional contact points on steep or loose surfaces. They are not the main weight-bearing structures, but they can help brake the animal or add stability when the slope becomes extreme. So, the goat's incredible balance is not magic. It is a biological system. Hard hoof edges for anchoring, soft pads for friction, split toes for spreading and gripping, flexible joints for adjustment, strong muscles for controlled movement, and sharp spatial awareness for choosing safe footholds. In simple words, goats do not just walk on cliffs, they read the cliff with their feet.
More than that, goats are also excellent jumpers. They can spring from rock to rock, often landing on very small surfaces. But their jumping is not wild or uncontrolled. Before leaping, a goat studies the distance, angle, and landing point. Then it launches with the hind legs, keeps the body compact in the air, and lands with the hooves placed carefully. This combination of judgment and strength makes their climbing especially impressive. A go to thinking about young goats. Young goats begin learning these skills early. Kids follow their mothers over rocks and slopes, practicing balance, jumping, stopping, and choosing footholds. At first, their movements are less certain, but with experience, they develop the calm, precise climbing style of adults. In mountain environments, climbing is not a special trick, it is a life skill. So, the goat's powerful climbing ability comes from several natural advantages working together: strong legs, flexible joints, compact bodies, gripping hooves, sharp vision, careful foot placement, and learned experience. In simple words, goats do not conquer mountains by force alone. They climb with a mixture of strength, balance, patience, and instinct. On cliffs where most animals would panic, the goat moves like a specialist, quiet, focused, and perfectly designed for the vertical world. Writing. Sharp memory, goats are intelligent animals. They can remember places, pathways, feeding areas, and even human faces. Some studies show goats can learn tasks and remember them for months. Study, learn, remember, reuse. Goats are intelligent animals with surprisingly sharp memories. Some studies show that goats can learn a task, such as opening a box or using a simple mechanism to reach food, and still remember how to do it months later. This means their brains do more than react by instinct. They can store information and use it again when needed. In the wild or on farms, this memory helps goats remember safe paths, feeding places, familiar humans, herd members, and dangerous areas. Their memory supports survival, problem solving, and social behavior. Goats learn, remember, and adapt. Oh my god, I just know it. When I research about memory of goats, a goat may look simple, but its brain is quietly working. Strong curiosity. Goats love to explore. They investigate objects with their mouths, noses, and eyes. This curiosity helps them find food and understand their environment. Less is there not in study. That is why goats sometimes chew clothes, bags, or fences. They are not always hungry. Sometimes they are just investigating. 5. Excellent sense of smell. Goats use smell to recognize food, danger, other goats, and their young. Mother goats can identify their babies by scent, and baby goats can recognize their mothers too. 6. Amazing social intelligence. Goats are social animals. They form friendships, follow group leaders, and communicate with different sounds. They can express fear, hunger, stress, comfort, and excitement through their voices and body language. In a goat herd, communication is survival. 7. Adaptability. Goats can live in mountains, deserts, farms, forests, and dry landscapes. They are not picky eaters compared with many animals. They can survive on leaves, shrubs, bark, weeds, and tough plants. This makes goats one of the most adaptable farm animals in the world. 8. Strong digestive ability. Goats are ruminants, which means they have a special digestive system that helps them process rough plants. They chew, swallow, bring food back up, and chew it again as cud. It may sound strange, but it helps them get nutrients from plants that humans cannot eat. 9. Fast reflexes. Goats react quickly to danger. Their quick movements help them jump, dodge, run, and escape. Young goats, called kids, often practice these reflexes by jumping and playing. Their play is not just fun, it is training. 10. Emotional awareness. Goats can sense moods in other goats and may respond to human emotions too. They often recognize familiar people and may approach those they trust. So goats are not just survivors, they are sensitive, social, and surprisingly clever animals. At the end, the goat may seem ordinary, but nature gave it extraordinary gifts. On the cliffs, in the fields, and among the herd, the goat proves that true talent is not always loud. Sometimes it stands quietly on the edge of a mountain,